as usual. Got an interesting story here we can take a look at. That's another big thing from 2020. The continued change in attitude towards UFO topics. We had the Pentagon coming out, and literally the Pentagon, not via TTSA, but Pentagon releasing, like they gave up videos showing us things that were anomalous. We had that this year. We had David Fravor, the pilot, going around a lot of the talk shows. I think I was one of the only people that didn't invite him on, and nothing against him. I should get him on. Just even to talk to a Top Gun pilot. Dang, dude, that'd be awesome, right? But more news on the alien front today. And the only reason I bring it up is because it's got that governmental kind of slant to it. Which, when you think about the Canadian ex-defence minister, Paul Hellier, I think his first name's Paul, but everyone likes to cite him because he's a very credible source. Here's a guy that spent decades in the Canadian kind of parliament, politics, and he talks about the aliens. So when you get somebody from government, Jimmy, coming along and kind of talking this kind of language that you usually hear from ufologists, it makes me sit up and pay attention. And I think when people see where this is coming from, it'll really make them pay attention, because former Israeli space security chief says that aliens exist, humanity not ready. Now, this quote, you ready, folks? Galactic Federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the US for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready. This comes from the Jerusalem Post. It says here, has the state of Israel made contact with aliens? According to retired Israeli general and current professor Chaim Eshed, the answer is yes. But this has been kept a secret because, quote, humanity isn't ready. Speaking in an interview to Yediot Aharonot, Eshed, who served as the head of Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years and is a 3-time recipient of the Israeli Security Award, up against Mossad cats every day of the week, wow, explained that Israel and the US have both been dealing with aliens for years. And it says here, and this by no means refers to immigrants, with Eshed clarifying the existence of, are you ready, Jimmy? Quote, a galactic federation. The 87-year-old former space security chief gave further descriptions about exactly what sort of agreements have been made between the aliens and the US, which ostensibly have been made because they wish to research and understand the fabric of the universe. This corporation, or cooperation, includes a secret underground base on Mars, where there are American and alien representatives. Now, if true, this would coincide with US President Donald Trump's creation of the Space Force as the 5th branch of the US Armed Forces, though it is unclear how long this sort of relationship, if any, has been going on between the US and its reported extraterrestrial allies. But Eshed insisted that Trump is aware of them and that he was on the verge of disclosing their existence. However, the Galactic Federation reportedly stopped him from doing so, or they didn't trust the plan, saying they wished to prevent mass hysteria, since they felt humanity needed to evolve and reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. Yediot Aharonot reported. As for why he's chosen to reveal this information now, Eshed explained that the timing was simply due to how much the academic landscape has changed and how respected he is in academia. If I had come up with what I'm saying today 5 years ago, I would have been hospitalized, he explained, to Yadiot. And he added that today they're already talking differently. I've nothing to lose. I've received my degrees and my awards. I am respected in universities abroad, where the trend is also changing. Eshed provided more information in his newest book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, conversations with Professor Haim Eshed, along with other details such as how aliens have prevented nuclear apocalypses, and quote, when we can jump in and visit the Men in Black. The book is available now on NIS 98, and while it's unclear if any evidence exists that could support Eshed's claims, they did come just ahead of a recent announcement by Space IL, the group behind Israel's failed attempt to land a spacecraft on the moon in 2019. Uploaded to social media with the text, "Ready to get excited again?" The announcement contained a 15-second video of the moon with text saying, "Back to the moon," followed by the date of December 9, 2020. That's tomorrow, folks. It is likely that this is a follow-up to the Bereshit spacecraft, which crashed after engineers lost contact with it just minutes before it was due to land. However, the follow-up project, titled Bereshit 2, is expected to take 3 years to be ready. So, Jimmy, the Israeli ex-space chief, talking about how they're in contact, them and the Americans, and Trump knows it, with the Federation, the Galactic Federation, Jimmy. And just when Trump was about to tell everyone, those pesky bloody aliens stopped him. They didn't trust the plan. What do you make of the timing? And this isn't the usual thing we see coming from ex-Israeli government spooky type people. So my spidey senses are going. But they're going wild. Why? Why now? What's this all about? What have we been set up for here? Dangly, shiny thing, distracted from what though? What do you say, Jimmy? What's going on, man? Is humanity ready?
Well, I don't know. While you were reading that, I just got done jumping through my little ring, and I was up on Mars and the underground base, and I happened to be there at night, and Barack Obama was on the wheels of steel on the turntables, and there was a big party going on. And
you've been talking to Robert David Steele again.
Man, listen, what's interesting about this to me, number one, is the language of everything that was in the way the article was written, even the trusting the plan thing was thrown in there.
No, I threw that in. I must admit, I threw that in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, okay, that was me. That was me.
All right. Well, so because the article itself, I mean, it sounds just like sounds like confirmation. You know how like when certain things come out, hey, ex-CIA document has now been released and it confirms everything we thought, it's true. Everything we said was true, because the document came down from the CIA. I mean, I'm just wondering if this dude had any black goo on his, corn chip at the party there. Because this story sounds exactly like what a lot of people are saying, that even the Galactic Federation part has been floated around there for years, so it sort of harmonizes a lot of these and materializes. Is
that the last card, Jimmy? Are we like missing the fact that the last card is about to be played? Are they really? I mean, we were talking about a coming together moment earlier on, and I agree with you. I mean, it doesn't need to be a Project Bluebeam. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a Project Bluebeam.
That's right. You're true that. And, all of a sudden, you're starting to see, like you said earlier, with these mysterious placements of these...
the monolith, that could have been a perfect test story. Let's put one out there somewhere that government find it, and let's just see how people react. Now, luckily, that didn't take off, but that's not to say that something else might not be discovered next week. I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's something weird going on, man. And we deal in the weird, right?
Right. And I mean, who hasn't heard that the reason that we have fiber optics is because, it was back engineered from some craft. So, I mean, why couldn't the same thing be true with black goo? Why couldn't, or maybe we've been given the black goo by the Galactic Federation? I mean, do you think if I went down to my local doctor and I sat down and I said, hey, man, the Galactic Federation is preventing nuclear destruction and black goo has been found and I think there's ectoplasmic computers. How long do you think it'd be before I was, in a position where I'd need to call somebody to get me out?
I reckon we'd be struggling to get you out, Jim. I reckon they'd have you locked away before you got to the last part. That's what that guy's saying as well, though. And it fits with what me and Ben have talked about. But somebody somewhere has made a decision where the way we handle this information has changed. Long gone are the days of X-File music and absolutely making ridicule of anyone that has anything to say about aliens. Now that's quite the thing. It's almost commonplace. Now, yeah, we know that these things are out there. We're now having the conversation. And the people that they bring forward, like an Israeli spook, that's what that guy read like. And when you read his kind of CV, it laid out there, that's a spook. That's a super spook, right? In charge of their space defense program. Goodness me, imagine the kind of stuff he's privy to. And now here he is with all that years of experience and reputation. Not that he's worried about putting it on the line. It's now the time. He says himself, even universities, they don't care if you talk like this anymore. Because this is now the conversation. This is going to be a central pillar of the new world. I'll repeat that again. Beyond the Great Reset, when they get us to where we're going, these conversations, it's not going to be questions about whether we're alone anymore. I think they're laying the groundwork for we're not alone, and we haven't ever been alone, and we're now starting to pull that magician's sheet back. We're going to show you some of what's going on. Takes us full circle to where we started today, Jimmy, like a magic circle. And your little magician's cupboard that you're coming to us live from. It's been a blast, my friend.